Welcome to ClearCut. Over here, we cut through the hype to bring you the entertainment and lifestyle real stories. My name is Caroline, I'm your host, and we are reviewing Detty December, a season of sold-out shows, overbooked hotels and apartments. And to do that with me, I have Abeku Santana, who is the acting Deputy CEO of Ghana Tourism Authority. I also have Sasha, creative director and an actor in her own series, Wives of Accra and Office Movers, which is on Netflix. So do check it out. And DJ Mensa, CEO of A-Town Entertainment, also partner at Aquaba UK, and event curator, and an OG DJ. We all know him. Yeah, very famous guy. And he's also the official DJ of Sakodie. 40 years and counting. Do the math.
40 years and counting.
Welcome, guys. He's been around for a minute. That's what I'm trying to say. So you're welcome to ClearCut.
Thank you.
But before we dive in, if you had to describe December in one word, what would it be? And I'm starting with you, Abeku.
Energetic.
Sasha?
Eye-opening. Growth.
Energetic, eye-opening, growth. Abeku, I want to start with you. How do you evaluate the overall success of December in Ghana? Did you think Accra truly delivered?
Well, first, thank you for having me. And it feels good to be in your chair with colleagues, I'll say comrades in the industry. I mean, legends. Good to see my brother, DJ Mensa. Ghana has consistently for the past 6-7 years positioned ourselves as the cultural creative hub for Africa through creative arts and entertainment. So what happened just this last December is something that is an intentional marketing positioning strategy. Hitherto, our strategy of selling Ghana has been our traditional export, our minerals, raw materials, and our football, our soccer. We're not intentional about selling our creative arts. So the Ghana Tourism Authority, through the Ministry of Tourism, decided, if you look at Africa's population, which is about almost 1.7, billion people, Africa's energy and resources is not only in the natural raw materials, but our creative talent. And we need to position our creative talent and then market it, thereby getting people coming into our country. So Ghana has taken a huge advantage of this opportunity. It's an emerging opportunity. So last year, December in GH, what our government, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, in the reset agenda of Ghana under the Black Star Experience seeks to do is to expand and deepen our cultural position as a creative capital of Africa. So we didn't have all the events in Accra as in the previous experience, the concentration was in Accra. And I was excited to see events going on in Sefwi also. Kwesi Amewuga, he has owned his community. Amrado has owned his community. So you understand? Kofi Kinata owned Takrade. You understand? And we have all these artists moving from one community to the other. So the new energy of December in GH is not a concentration in Accra, but obviously Accra is the capital. That's where all the inbound visitors, arrive first. So they will get a bigger chunk of the experiences. But Akosombo had 3 days unstopped, unabated events. Akosombo Street Carnival. Techiman had big show with Wendy Shake in Paluta and the rest. So there was a spread of events and activities. That's the beauty of the December in GH, Detty December, whichever way you want to call it, 2025. It's super. The tourism arrival numbers and the projections that we had in 2024 was 1.3 million with a revenue of about 4 billion. And if you remember 2024, after election, there wasn't so much activity because travelers, event organizers, kind of relaxed because everybody is waiting to see how the election is going to be. So there wasn't much done in 2024. But 2025, you can see that we have picked up.
Right.
So I am certain when the Ghana Statistical Service, the Ghana Immigration Service, and Ghana Tourism Authority comes out with what we call the tourism satellite account, which shows the numbers and speak to the numbers. You'll be amazed that we'll surpass the 1.2 million and also exceed the 4 billion revenue as in tourism receipts that we had. So we had a great year. We had a good year. Yes, it was.
You said Black Star Experience. You also mentioned Detty December, however we want to call it. But are we burying the term Detty December, replacing it with Black Star Experience? What are we working with now?
No. Not at all. Black Star Experience is the vision of His Excellency, an overarching policy direction, which is driving our tourism. All other thematic, or subs of our tourism programs activity still remains the same. But the focus is to drive other creative industries which we haven't given much attention to, like fashion. You understand? Like fashion and architecture and food gastronomy. Last year, the Ghana Tourism Authority did an incredible event, Taste 68 at 68, where we brought together our traditional caterers to display 68 different cuisines made from Ghanaian, farm products. You understand? This year we'll do Taste 69 at 69. Next year we'll do Taste 70. What we are saying is we can be innovative with our culinary or gastronomy. You understand? The way you present yam. You can present cake with yam, but the traditional way of doing cake is the sugar craft. But you can actually present a cake with yam. You understand? So we are asking our creative. The creative economy is very huge. It's one of the largest informal sector that we have not given much attention to. That's why I'm saying that the Black Star Experience Secretariat, which is the government policy driving our tourism and creative economy, is going to give us these opportunities. We did Africa Creative Connect. 22 countries came to Ghana for 3 days to network, matchmake, share ideas, see how we can collaborate. Film is also growing. There are opportunities, but we haven't seen that. So when government gives us this attention or focus, then people will realize that, okay, so this talent that I have, there's actually an industry. People don't even know where to go. There's film industry, there's Creative Arts Council, so if I have an idea, can I bounce it with them? Can I write to this office? I want to do filming. Can they assist me with letter to have access to some sites and all that? So you first need to put down the policy. Right. Once you have the policy will give you direction in how you can also, create that economy in that ecosystem. So that is basically what we're doing.
You finally repealed the COVID-19 health recovery levy, right, on the 1st of January. Why was it done after December in GH?
Oh, no, it's a process. When Parliament passes a legislative instrument and it becomes even an act, it was an act. It wasn't even an LI. It was an act. It was an act of Parliament. Every act of Parliament is assented by the President. The President assented. So you can't just repeal it. It goes through a process, submitting the proposal or memorandum to Parliament. They debate. It goes through first reading, second reading, third reading. It comes out. It must go to Cabinet. Cabinet must, approve it. The President must sign. After signing, it goes back to Parliament. Then it becomes a law. Now, when it becomes a law, it takes process to remove it from the system. Because when the levy was passed, it's an act of Parliament. All institutions, that collect revenue had it in their system. So you need to update the system. So it wasn't deliberate to effect the repeal or the removal after December in GH. No, I don't think so.
Because we're looking at it also helping the visitors coming in with costs. But now it's happened, they're gone, we have 3 more years, right? And then some other ones. People are saying that you guys are going to be in power for so long. So
I think His Excellency, the 2 promises that he said he was going to repeal, the betting tax and the COVID tax and e-levy. And he has repealed under 10 months, 11 months. So we have to commend him.
And the VAT registration threshold also moved to 750,000.
Yeah, so it means that those in the creative economy, in the previous administration, I think DJ Mensah, legendary, can attest to it. Event organizers were being chased by Ghana Revenue Authority.
Still being chased?
No. When it depends on the threshold. It depends.
Yeah,
that is why
from
now
250,000 to 750,000.
So now we have made a clear case. So if you are doing an event that the threshold is say 300,000, when the GRA people come, you can tell them that, look, it cost me this, it cost me that. This is the value of the event. You understand? So you can't tax me. And now there's a law. So this is a government that is sensitive to our creative. You see, our president, His Excellency, is a creative person. He loved creative. And one of his promises was to make our creative economy thrive. And that is why we have made such a bold decision. Why would government reduce taxes? No government does that. No government will do that. For government to say that I'm reducing tax, and he knows that the creative economy, we are small, medium enterprise. We are not large. So we cannot be paying the same tax as those who are importing and exporting. So if an event organizer, and DJ Mensah, we will be very honest to ourselves, in the previous administration, they don't care whether your event, threshold is 100,000. They will come and sit there with you. The GRE people will come and sit there with you. But now there's a caveat. The caveat is the threshold is 750,000. So if you come to my event and you see about 100 full of people there, you, the GRE, you know that no. But when you have hyped your event big and you say, I'm bringing this international artist, I'm bringing that, they will do the mathematics.
But what is your office, GTA, also doing to ensure that it helps the small vendors? Because they are the backbone of the Black Star experience anyway. Is there something you guys are doing specifically? Rather than just show up and then have Mensah say, oh, look at what I did, look at what I did. You guys should help too.
So I want to commend DJ Mensah and all those who have in the past collaborated with the Ghana Tourism Authority. Right. When you approach us, we are a government institution that work with a regulation or a regulatory framework. So if you have an event, you approach us that I have this event. First, we'll check about your credibility, your track record, and your previous achievement and success, and see the kind of support we'll give you. Some of the support are not necessarily money. Some of the support could be a visa facilitation, which our international desk, Annabelle Mackenzie and co can assist. Some of the support we can offer you will be access to maybe the event centers, police, clearance, and all those things. Then when it comes to even funding money, we can also assist. So we don't just throw money to people that if you are creative and you are doing event, come for money at Ghana Tourism Authority. No, we need to account for every work, that we do. So you write to us, the management, to look at your proposal, and if it's justifiable, and we know if DJ Mensah come to us for his all-white party, we know the numbers. We know that his program even sells to the diasporans. Yeah. And when the diasporans come, they are sleeping in hotels, they are taking transport, they are eating from the restaurants and all that. We don't look at only the event. You see, the whole ecosystem of the creative economy. Right. And a lot of people think that creative is entertainment, but they forget that it's a socio-economic movement, a socio-economic power. So we at Tourism Authority see beyond the entertainment, at the revenue, the money. And I like how he described December in GH. He said growth. Growth, represent numbers, volumes, money. You understand? In my submission or preamble, I said we made 4 billion. So at the end of all these entertainment events, we're talking about money. If you don't have money, you can't spend. You can't have tourism.
Mensah.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you what it takes actually to just run a show during December. And we were talking about this before the COVID levy was repealed. So basically, back in December, it wasn't cheap, right? But before that, did you feel that the Ghanaian sound was actually like great? Did it hold its own against the Amapianos and Afrobeats in this past holidays?
I mean, before I touch on it, thank you for having me on the show. We should give credit where credit lies. There's a certain Denisteria that started this in 1999 to make sure that, you know, the story where if you're stubborn outside and they tell you that, oh, we're going to bring you to Ghana as a form of punishment. That. Yeah. That's not the story anymore. A certain Denisteria sat down and changed the narrative and said, Ghana is a beautiful place. Come home, not just December, all year round. But the push was for December. So he started in 1999. I joined around 2004, 2005. And then I became his partner. It was just a Kwaba UK event and has still been doing it till now. So let's give the credit. Before the Detty December, before December in GH, we kept writing. I've sent you some stuff on your WhatsApp. Yeah. You can load them. We kept writing December in Ghana. Other people also had Christmas in Ghana. So let's give that credit before any other thing, before all these.
And you have nothing against the new
Oh, no, we don't. We are happy because that's what we actually saw. We saw a bigger picture, but, you know, certain people will believe in that and all. If you ask me where we started from HM all the way to Aphrodisiac to Boomerang, Men's Vic Hotel, you know, we're doing all these parties way before a branch into other stuff. So yes, credit to my partner Denisteria, so we can go on.
At the time there was no Amapiano, there was no
it was
hip
no
life.
Hip life, their garage music and all of that. Yes.
And now we have different sounds. But
sounds.
Did you feel this particular December?
Yes.
In GH?
The Ghana sound, I mean, last year and this year I was being tagged as a political party just because we were pushing Play Ghana.
Yeah.
That was agenda. Me as a DJ, I don't care what stage I stand on. I want the Ghana sound to fly. Wherever I stand in this world, I will still push the Ghana music. And a year before, if you go to the DSPs, it was just foreign music that had taken over our first top 10, 100. You go to top 10, 100 Ghana music and it's just foreign music. But this year, it's not the story. We have Ghana music taking about 90-95%, you know, of the DSPs all around, from Spotify to Apple Music to Audio Mac and all of that. So the Ghana sound represented. And in the past, people will wait for the Nigerian music, the Amapianos, to come before they go home. No, now people are waiting for Ghana music. And then when it comes on, you know the difference. I made sure that when you come to like an event like an all black or all white, we play High Life. There's like an hour left at the end of the night for High Life, and people wait for that. You understand? So, I mean, few things that I mentioned about growth.
Yeah.
You know, customer has changed. They used to come out early. This time around, the new Flex is coming out and taking daylight pictures and all of that. So they are coming very late. So these are things that we saw happening. You know, you have your tickets sold out, you have your table sold out, but they are coming in late just to be able to stay till about 10 a.m. That's the new Flex.
And the mummies and puppies cannot keep up. They want to sleep.
It depends on where you're going. It's so
waiting
grown.
All night.
It's so grown that you have about 10 to 15 events in the night, you know. So it depends on where you are going and all.
How was it running the shows in December in that high tax environment, you know, before 1st January when it was repealed?
I mean, for us, it's about experience for us. It's about, you know, knowing that, again, we've taken money from our pocket, no support from government. Sometimes we get sponsorship from Visa. This year we work with Visa. Shout out to Visa. They've been here for some time with us. MTN Ghana, Raju, there's a drink company. So yes, they supported us. And without them, it's hard to give all the experiences that we want. As I said, again, it's growth. They don't want to come and just see the normal setup. They want to see huge screens, fireworks, you know, all of that. Bottle, you know, the bottle service, the glorifiers that are coming with it and everything. So yes, it cost us a lot. Logistics are killing us when it talks about the screens, the sound, security, all of that. It's high intensive.
That will change this year because, I mean,
Yes,
buying
I'm happy
Papa.
with knowing about this 700K threshold.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually look into that, and I think that it should help, as it's
So
mentioned.
a much better
Yes.
December this year and the years coming. A big Santana Nekai. Let me come to you, Sasha. So you have been documenting this season for years through your Wives of Accra channel, right? What is the single biggest shift you noticed this year?
This year, so I've been coming since 2021, so I have to make
4
that
years.
clear. Because I know there's a lot of people who would say, and they're right, that I can't really weigh in too heavily on the differences of the season because I haven't been coming from when it had begun, right? But since 2021, I guess the difference, the major difference this year would probably be price, cost. It's definitely gone up a lot. I would say that is the most noticeable.
Okay, so as also someone who lives abroad, what is that number one thing that the diaspora visitors also tell you is missing
Is missing.
from the current Ghanaian experience?
So for the most part, I've
Tourist
always...
experience.
Tourist
Ghanaian
experiences.
Tourist experience, yeah.
Okay, so for the most part, everyone enjoys themselves. And this is something that I experienced myself when I first came. And then when I kept coming, I loved Ghana. I loved the experience during December, all even into January. It's not until I started coming and spending more time that I realized, Ghana is amazing all throughout the year. But I would say that the most that I've heard back from people is maybe small things like customer service, right? Or maybe you wouldn't say that they're small. Maybe they make a really lasting
Big deal,
impression.
yeah.
It's a pretty big deal. Things with transportation. We've heard many, many times before the roads. But I would say that the most impactful of them all would probably be customer service.
And your followers complain about the Accra tax. But do you think the cost of living was higher this year compared to previous years?
Yes, for sure, for sure. I would say, and I feel like that's not just Ghana. I think that's the world. I think everywhere, inflation, prices have gone up, etc. But when you think about tourists and when you think about traveling, for people like us, say, from the US, from Canada, from the UK, when we think of vacation in general, whether it be in Ghana or not, when you think of vacation, you want to escape from the heavy taxing that you experience in your own home. So when you escape to a place as amazing as Ghana, a part of that experience and that beautiful experience is being able to spend more and have more of an experience, or being able to spend less than what you would spend back home, but still have an amazing experience. And that in turn usually should mean that tourists would spend more while they're down, they're here. But I'm seeing this year that people are holding back a little bit. They're not spending as much as they would have in past years. But that's because when you look at your bank statement and you realize you're spending what you would spend in the UK, or you're spending what you would spend in the US or Canada, it causes a pause. And you start to, watch your pennies a little bit. Whereas back in the day, or even in 2021, we would come here and we'd blow a bag. Because we were like, we could do everything. So we would patronize the restaurants more. We would spend more money on a table, spend more at an event, go out more. And not to say that people aren't doing that now, but I think that they are being a little more cautious and then thinking, okay, is Ghana what it used to be? Or do we need to find somewhere else that will allow us to have more of an experience financially as well as enjoyment?
You met your husband through these trips.
I did.
What has that personal connection, done for you? Has it changed your view on the growth of Ghana's lifestyle industry?
Oh, for sure. So I'm married to the coolest man alive.
Joey.
Yeah. So he is an event producer, designer, planner. And since I met him, I really got to understand the importance of patience. When I first came here, I was like many other diasporans, why are things moving at this pace? and I couldn't wrap my mind around it until I had met him and he was able to really show me the ins on like how things work, and now I have an appreciation of that slower pace. It's done so much for my mental health, for just overall on how I experience life. Now, don't get me wrong, I do still think that things can run a little bit cleaner and tighter. Right. And I think everybody would benefit from that, financially and just overall. But I do also appreciate the slowing down of it all because it is important for us. And we just don't realize that because we come from such a fast-paced place.
Yeah. We like to take a day at a time. Abeku, now back to you. So beyond the parties that we have in Accra, how is GTA also using the funds, to develop infrastructure in other regions, the 15 regions, not just focus on the capital?
Well, so tourism receipts, triggers to every industry. Tourism is a sector which enjoys a lot of industry. Telecommunication gains, aviation gains, hospitality gains, transport gains, accommodation, hospitality, food and beverages gains. So the overall impact is on the nation's economy. So tourism has become a major boost to our GDP. You see, when the world market prices of our natural resources like gold, oil, cocoa, and timber falls, it affects our economy. That's why we run to international borrowers to borrow us money or go to the bond market to subscribe for, financial, support. But when tourism thrives, it triggers to every economy. So the revenue does not come to Ghana Tourism Authority directly. We don't receive money directly. But if you look at the impact of events that took place across the country during the festive season, whether in a drizzle or I saw Koforidua event with Sister Fia for the first time, all white, party, massive. I was born, I come from Koforidua. I was so happy to see that. They say, hey, my hometown, they're going to make money. Dressmakers are getting, money, event organizers. Look at even the stage. Everybody's got a stage crew. Lighting, technicians, cameramen, makeup artists, everybody's cashing out. So the tourism revenue does not come to Ghana Tourism Authority directly, but it triggers to every industry. Now you ask a fantastic question. How do we use this revenue to develop our infrastructure? And we need to commend our president. In just 10 months, 11 months in office, we have seen his commitment to improve our infrastructure, leading to our major tourism destinations. We've seen expansion of roads, previous government started. And because of his commitment, you can see the speed at which within 10 months, he has promised, and I know he would deliver, that Accra Kumasi Achimota Highway, by April, that's the end of the first quarter of 2026, that stretch would have been completed. And he has also promised a 3-lane, 6-lane, new, road network to Kumasi. We have seen Accra to Winneba Kaswa Road, also fast improving. So, but it is not only the tourism revenue, it's other revenue like the Heritage Fund, money from gold receipts and all that. You can't use only the tourism revenue for infrastructure because how much is the revenue coming to Ghana Tourism Authority? 1%. It's inadequate. We can't use that for infrastructure. But then we are also committed to supporting some of our tourist attractions, giving it facelift. Some tourist site attractions are not in the best shape. So the Ghana Tourism Authority support them with funding from the Tourism Development Fund, which when you go to restaurant, hotel, tour sites, you pay 1% levy. That levy, we use it to support. And we use the same levy to support the creative arts. Anytime a creative person comes to Ghana Tourism Authority to get funding or support, you should ask yourself, what have you given to the Ghana Tourism Authority that they are giving you money? It is the contribution of others in the entire ecosystem. So we don't necessarily use the revenue for constructing roads. It is not in our mandate. The Ghana Roads and Highways Authority, or the Ministry of Roads and Highways, is responsible for the development of the road network infrastructure. But like I said, the revenue that comes to the tourism, it triggers to other industry, be it agriculture. September, we're in Crawford together.
Yeah.
You saw the numbers.
Yes.
Unbelievable, crazy. Ask him. Look, over 20,000 people. I couldn't believe my eyes that, I don't want to call it that countryside, small town. People came from Cote d'Ivoire, Abidjan, for a concert in Crawford, Elembele, Eziema, Axim. I said, my goodness, traffic from Eziema Junction to Crawford took me almost 1 hour. If not a police, escort, I couldn't have gotten there. Sarkodie was on stage around almost 4 a.m. Kofi Kinata was on stage 6 a.m. You can imagine an event that started from 6 p.m. to the next week. So we need to be positive about the growth. And that's why I said I commend him in how he described the December NGH growth. It is spreading, it's expanding. Now, Ghana has become a competitive, enviable destination in West Africa because we have something to do every month, every day, all day. We have festivals. You can't get that in other African countries. There are traditional festivals going on every month. You have the Ojra, you have the Akwemu, you have the Afashe Fetu, Ogbechocho, you have all the way. Something is going on. You can't get that in other parts of West Africa.
Do we need better PR? So people can know this, so that they won't all camp in a crowd when they can actually go to all 15 regions. Is that it? We're not doing so much.
I think that's exactly what we are doing. Bringing our diaspora sister to tell the story. It's also a way of getting... You see, what makes tourism sales is storytelling. If you don't tell your story, nobody will know what you have. You understand? So yes, we are committed. And December, I think when people try to, deepen the rivalry between Ghana and Nigeria, and Nigerians also coming with their Detty December, they call it Detty December Festival. Detty December Festival. And we call ours Detty December. What I always say that, you see, there's one advantage we have that probably we don't cherish it because we haven't seen other countries. The peace and stability. Can you tell me the crime rates that went on during the festive season compared to other? I don't want to mention it, but I'm told our neighbors. There were some guys sitting on. I don't want to mention the brand name. They sit on this delivery, bikes, and you might think that they are going to do delivery. You just snatch your Bone Street wig. You just remove it like this. Go and repackage it and sell. You understand? I don't want to mention it. I saw videos on social media. People were like, "Oh my God, I'm stuck in traffic for 9 hours. Why?
Yeah,
why?
I saw a video like that also.
So I'm not saying I was happy, but I think we need to appreciate what we have. We are not competing. Africa Games, West Africa Games, whether Ghana or Nigeria, you understand? Because we share a lot in common. Burna Boy was here, Davido was here, Omale was here, Tiwa Savage was here, and all that. You understand? We are deepening our position as the cultural capital of Africa. How many Ghanaian artists did go to Nigeria and all that? Everybody's coming to Ghana. So Ghana is the hub of creativity. We should be proud of that. And I like the spread, how events are spreading. Now everybody wants to do events in December. Everybody wants to do something. And thanks to, Dennis, Materia, Aquaba UK, and your good self as the pace setters. Everybody has become, conscious. Hey, so we too, we have to do something. So we also did Cocoa City Experience. Mandem Yopik Kwame, Kwesi Amewuga, they also had their event because that's where they come from. Everybody wants to take event to their hometown. You understand?
I saw Mercedes-Benz event also in one of the towns.
Yes. Nigeria
pulled up with
even prison, Kumasi prison had a fashion runway show. Come on, Charlie Ghana, you guys, you need to commend ourselves. So.
With your PR.
How long are we going to be celebrating that? Because again, do we think that Nigeria is always going to, or our neighboring countries are going to always be a problem where there's no stability or peace or anything like that? Of course, they are also growing. They are just getting into Detty December or December, whatever. Like, people are coming back. The safety thing that we keep talking about, of course, it's going to change. If it's bringing them money by next year, because, again, if you look at the Nigerian president, I think he formed a whole security team to make sure that people have peace in Nigeria, and it's going to change. One thing that I keep saying, we leave a lot of things on the table. We left our music for them to come and take it. We left our movies. At one point, our football. I protect Detty December or December in Ghana with my heart. Like on social media, Caroline will tell you. And I think that's how we're supposed to take it. We shouldn't take it like one of those things where, one of the things I said to myself that if Afro Nation is able to happen in Nigeria, I'll be surprised. Remember when they mentioned it, and it didn't happen just because of these same issues. But then again, look at the Detty Fest that they did in December. Amazing.
Yeah.
Beautiful stage. Yeah. Last year, they couldn't even put up some of the stages that we put at, like Eat, Drink Music Festival and all that. But it's growing. So we shouldn't play with that. Big factor on PR. We'll say we don't have budget this year. I am looking at it like, even if we took about 20 influencers and gave them, let's say 10K, 20K cash and say, you know what, go out to this event, publicize it, make it, put noise on it, regardless of what it is.
We did. Okay.
Because I had people who were just watching. They were online just watching to see if something would just spark their interest to go out.
I'll be happy you don't tell me you did. I want to see it happen, right?
Yeah.
One of the amazing things I saw.
Because this is just one platform and you're telling us all of this.
All of this. One of the, and that's the PR part that we're talking about. Something beautiful happened when I was flying down from Atlanta. At the airport, the guy spoke in Twi. And the first thing he mentioned, Detty December and not, it just changed the mood. It was beautiful. It would be nice. How many airports do we have? How many major airports do we have where people, as the gateway, people come in? From New York, Atlanta, that's just from the New York side. Canada, maybe London, Gatwick, it's not more than 6. If we visit Ghana 3 months even before December, like how the Rwandans did it. It was everywhere. And I don't know how much these things cost, but I believe that we can do that. We have to publicize it with our heart. That nobody can rob us. People are now going to South Africa. People are now coming in and they check Nigeria out, they check Ghana out, and check South Africa. So at a point, yes, other countries are going to be smart. They're going to start reducing their taxes rate. Look at how much people are paying to sleep. Uber drivers are killing people. Now, I can't even pay my staff because, they cannot jump in trotro. First of all, they will not get the traffic and all of that. These are things that we have to be deliberate about to make sure that we are, deep in it 6 months ahead of time. Why do we even wait to pack all our 300, 400 events in December? We should spread it out. And it must be done in a way that we are not waiting for, even if it's the festivals that you mentioned. We throw more light on it. There are people that are going to travel and come in for these festivals, not just... How many people even come for the parties in December?
Well, I think I have to come in here and...
Real quick though, let's just go to Sasha, because I really want to know what your followers, your viewers of your channel, do they in any way compare the Accra experience to that of Lagos and Abidjan? And are there areas that they feel like Ghana is losing the battle, the money, value for money battle?
I feel like Mensa has a great point. I feel like when I do speak to people, when I am online and just listening to what people are saying, people are comparing. Is it Lagos? Should we be going to South Africa? Right. People are trying to figure out if there's a vibe elsewhere as well, right? But it also boils back down to people most times saying, but December in Ghana is just, it's different. It's very special, which I believe. Of course, I haven't been to Lagos yet. I don't know that I don't know that I'll be going anytime soon, but what I have heard amongst my peers and people who have visited is that when they went to Lagos, it was a vibe. It was crazy, but there is a level of peace and true enjoyment here in Ghana.
So they don't think we're losing it at all in certain areas?
In certain areas, of course, like, is the infrastructure here for all of these people? I feel like since I've been coming, I've always noticed that there has been this invitation, come to Ghana, which is beautiful, right? And I've been a part of that. I've been a part of that voice that a lot of people recognize. That's like, go to Ghana, you're gonna love it, you're gonna love it, you're gonna love it. But the realities of it is like, are we ready for that type of influx as well? When it comes to transportation, when it comes to just a lot of things, we do need to have the conversation about how it can evolve to be able to receive all of these people.
The reason why people keep coming to Ghana, not only the tourism attractions.
We have lights.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Not only that, the peace. Yes. And DJ Mensa, I want to assure you that government has invested heavily. You see, these are the invisible, intangible investment that has created the opportunity for us, for our industry to thrive. Maybe the other countries haven't done that. I don't want to talk about any country. I'm here as a marketer for the Ghana Tourism Authority, and you don't expect me to talk about... there's no country in Africa that can compare its peace to the peace of Ghana. There's no country, absolutely. Look, they can invest heavily in, PR, invest in setup and all that. They are now coming up. We are the benchmark. We are the benchmark. For us, December is not a festive season. December is our positioning. In fact, we want to confirm and affirm our position as the leading Africa creative cultural hub. It is our identity. You understand? It is our identity, and it's spread. You talked about Lagos. We are talking about Kumasi, Takrady. We are talking about other cities. We are growing. They are now coming up. So they look up to us. Why didn't Afro Nation 3 years ago, when they wanted to do, why did it pick up? They couldn't. It has taken them how many years? 5 years or 6 years when Afro Nation came to Accra. The year after, they said they were going to Nigeria, they were going to do it. They couldn't do it. Why has it taken them 5 years? What we have done 6 years ago, Nigeria is now doing it. Yes, we are learning from our mistakes. I won't share the strategy because, obviously this is, a global, podcast that is going viral. But I want to assure you that every, city and crony of our country is going to get their share of our creative cultural capital. Everybody is going to make it. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not going to compare ourselves to, but we did quite well, with PR, CNN, BBC, CGTN. These are international media. And you see, the good thing is that this year, we are continuing the PR. Our participation in Commonwealth Games and World Cup. Look, we are playing England. We are in the same group with England. The talkability, the PR that we are going to get for Ghana being mentioned in England on Sky Sports, on BBC, we are not even going to pay for that. We will take advantage of that. So Ghana leads when it comes to everything. Heritage, culture, and now the new creative, economy. We lead. So I understand the rivalry. The rivalry between Ghana and Nigeria is a normal thing. We got independence 57, they got their 60. We did this. We beat Nigeria Super Eagles 7-0 in Ghana in 1960 something. We've been to World Cup several times. It's normal. It's normal. They look up to us. Go on social media and check content creators who are blasting their government that, look, their president, we should exchange, even our president is a Nigerian. So for me, I'm happy, but when you become successful, automatically you attract competition.
Yeah.
Last year, December, check, Davido was in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone also has started. They are investing in creative. They invited Davido to come to perform December 19th. Davido was in Sierra Leone. So it's not only Nigeria. Other West African countries will also come in to compete. So what are we going to do differently? And I like one point that you mentioned about customer service and customer experience. That is one of the drawbacks or the challenges that we have. Even our president mentioned it last year during the encounter with the media, that we need to. So the Ghana Tourism Authority this year, we have partnered with a lot of customer service training consults to improve on the service quality. From taxi drivers, we are going to engage taxi drivers across the country. We are going to engage frontline hospitality workers. We are very intentional. We want to train. People are beginning to appreciate what tourism is. We were enjoying tourism by default because people are coming to Cape Coast. They are coming to Elmina. The indigenous didn't even understand why the people were coming there. But now everybody is beginning to see. Excuse me. I mean, our brother has gotten married out of tourism.
You're right.
And your clack.
So funny.
Do you have an idea how the young guys today, a lot of them want to come into tourism? I've seen young people graduate. I want to start something. I want to do tour guiding. I want to do this. I create experience. People have started branching into different. Why? It's because tourism is becoming more popular. So let's give ourselves some time. But I believe that we're still going to lead. Currently we are the number one destination. But DJ Mensa, when we win, West Africa wins. Because Ghana has always been the gateway. People come to Ghana and they go to Nigeria. People go to Nigeria and they come to Ghana. So we are not competing, but we are cooperating, we are collaborating. That is why we have Nigerian artists coming to Ghana and we have Ghanaian artists also going to Nigeria. The rivalry is not as, the rivalry is normal. It's been there a long time. It's been there a long time, but we are not relenting. I want to assure you, my dear sister, what we are doing differently, and I tell you the strategy, and you see the result. We are spreading it. And you said that, why do we wait till December? Please tell me, in April, do you hear any African country, West African country, marketing a destination like Ghana, like this year we are going to do Sugakope, we are going to do Jekiti, and we are going to do another town, four towns. We are investing. We are breaking comms on Monday. Monday we are doing stakeholder engagement at Accra City Hotel. We are not sleeping.
How about pricing?
That is where I share the sentiment of our sister. It's been with us for some time. December, people automatically, hike prices. It's been like that. Every December.
It cannot be regulated.
Every December. And last year, I saw the police arresting people. Go and check it in the news. We can verify it. They started arresting people who were, hiking prices, transport, and fares and all that. So, yes, it's prices, but it's like that in every tourism destination. If you go to every tourist destination, people take advantage of you. Sometimes when I go to East Africa, some countries, I have to take an indigene to do the negotiation for me. When they see that you're a tourist, they want to take advantage. It's an African thing. It's an African phenomenon. We need to change from that. It's not only Ghana. You understand?
So you would say that
when your accent is not familiar with them,
straight away,
they want to take advantage of you. We need to stop that.
Yes, but that makes it very hard for people to, because a lot of the people who come in December eventually fall in love with Ghana and want to stay, and then they plan their whole life. The next year, they're thinking, how can I return to Ghana and make it my home? And then they try to attempt to do that, and then it's one thing for people to hear your accent during December and hike the price. You expect that during a high tourism time. But what if you live here and you cannot avoid your accent? Like for me, sometimes my husband's like, you stay in the car. For this one, you stay here. But, you know, I don't want to have to compromise the deal just because I exist, right? So it's like, how do we get to a point where people are able to buy their groceries normally as anybody else without having this tax? Because I think that's another conversation that's constantly happening is they're like, well, you know what? I tried to, and then after a while I had to leave because there's no way of getting out of being taxed just for not being originally from Ghana.
I like what you said, that one thing you've learned is patience. Yeah, so have patience with us. when they hike the price, tell them that, okay, sorry, I'm gone. I'll go. They will come back. It's like that. People see they do it to me. I mean, because I'm a famous person, they see you. Yeah. They want to give you, call price 3, 4, 5 times than the price. I say, why? You think because I'm also a street person, I'll fight them? That, let us make something small from you. I don't want to say it's our culture, but people take advantage of, others. But that is not the typical culture of Ghanaians. Our mothers in the marketplaces are exceptionally nice. It's just that in December, because there's demand for, goods and services, people, hike their prices. And that thing we have been advising and encouraging, sensitizing people that this attitude is not good. Because if you hike your price and you don't get sale at the end of the day, you lose. You understand? It doesn't make sense. So we'll continue with the sensitization. We'll continue with the education for people to understand that economies of scale, if you hike your price and they buy one, and you have a relative good price, stable price, or affordable price, and they buy 10, look at the profit margins on the 10. It's better than the one that you get. So we'll continue to do the education for people to understand. It has been with us for some time, but I hope it gets better.
And I think, sorry, go ahead.
No, you can.
I think I'll be clear that I think I wouldn't want to be unfair and say that it only happens in Ghana. It happens all over the world. People do this. As a Jamaican, they do it in Jamaica too during times where people are coming in. Of course, they're going to hike the price because people are like, listen, me have to make my money right. No, right? No, So I get it. I understand that. I think what kind of breaks my heart a little bit is like when I go into restaurants and stuff and I think about like, does the everyday Ghanaian get to experience this? Because if a plate of calamari costs 300 cedis, but it doesn't even cost that much in my country, it's like, who gets to experience these restaurants? Who gets to experience this sit down and have a meal? Because after December, who really feels the pain? And it's the people. And to me, that is what hurts the most because it's like these prices are just rising and rising and rising. And I'm like, oh my goodness, if I have to pause on, I don't know if I'm going to purchase that. It's like, what about the rest of the country?
So, Abeku, would you say that we have created an artificial market that is not reflective of the pockets of the people?
I mean, before you answer that, you said something about Kwewu, which I would like to say something about. I mean, it was always about Kwewu, Easter. Akwaba saw an opportunity because, again, our database was telling us that December is becoming too expensive. So a lot of people are coming in Easter. So this is the 4th year for us. We have our Easter calendar ready to activate Accra. Because again, there are so many people that are coming in and they are all not going to Kwewu. So again, we saw the opportunity to welcome people in, have different events in Accra. That also makes Accra active, not just Kwewu. So yes.
And as I mentioned, we are activating other destinations other than Kwewu because we've seen the over-concentration in one destination for too long. So we're doing Soga Copper, Jekiti around Akosombo, Regatta. We are going to market these destinations for people to have great experiences. Those who want to have water eco experience, those who want to have, the hiking and the fanfare, you choose the experience you want to have. And we are marketing it. I'll be going to Asia very soon, to meet destination marketing companies and selling our experiences to them. Our products are diverse. Our products are not only the heritage side people visit or the cultural, entertainment, creative events. There are also business opportunities in this country, and that is what tourism is about. Now, your question.
I am asking, have we created an artificial market that is not reflective of the pockets of the people who patronize it?
How? How?
Like she mentioned. I mean, they leave and then it's back to normal for us.
No, so you see, it depends. If you like street food, you know the market price of street food.
But then it's different in December.
No, it's not. It's not different. Street food is different from going to restaurant.
Street food stays the same.
Street food stays the same. But if you go to if you go to restaurant, he's an event organizer and he can attest to it. He knows that when he's doing events in December or maybe any other festive season, his regular table for his nightclub in December, he will hike the price × 5. Ask him.
So they're the ones creating it.
I'm not saying that, but
exactly.
I'm
if
saying,
I can afford a table when it's not Christmas, then I can afford it when it's Christmas. Then what are we doing?
I don't know if you ask some of the event table.
We patronize it. So
look, somewhere 100,000, 50,000, 50,000.
I don't think the amount should have any effect, or maybe saying that it's expensive, because again, you have people that come with, let's say, 100K table. Mine, I don't have a 100K table. Let me. There is a 100K table, but then what is coming with a 100K table? You always have to look at that. This is one of the things that I mentioned.
Or
all of that. Again,
like 6 tickets. So it means 6
it's not 6. If you have 100K, there's no way. Again, I agree, people will be greedy. But if I'm selling a table for 100K, I'm looking at about 25 to 30 people. Again, you ask yourself that. How are they even going to drive back home? Are you giving them too much alcohol? You have to look at all of that. The chairs they are sitting on, the ticket is also priced and all of that. It's like a Rappaoli concert. We've been selling tables and everybody will tell you it's hard to get a Rappaoli table, but it always comes with a better experience.
How much?
We've seen some tables and they don't look like their prices.
The same price. I think Rappaoli table this year was about 20 or 30K.
20,000.
Well, I have my ears to the streets, okay? And on our side, table culture has ruined our party scene a lot. And a lot of Ghanaians or, from the diaspora, maybe they, their parents are Ghanaian, but they were born in the UK, Canada, the US, whatever. When they do come back home, they are speaking about the fact that they believe table culture making its way into Ghana so heavily is taking away from the overall enjoyment that they grew up with. So I just want to say,
like, nobody should buy tables. You should just come stand there and shine.
It's a choice.
It's a choice. Thank you.
For older people,
it's definitely
a choice. To sit at some point, then get back up and chill.
So that's a good thing.
But you'll see the difference. I'm just saying that there is a difference in the way people were partying when there wasn't heavily a table culture. I feel like if there is
clubs.
Yes, and I think a lot of people are saying, people are standing around, people are looking at each other. It's not the same as it used to be. And I think it could be because so many tables. I think maybe if people were to start to, just look at us and how our party culture has kind of plummeted.
Why don't we look at it from this perspective? Our party culture is growing, and there's a demand. Certain people who didn't regularly will attend parties. They want to come. Maybe a minister. Or
I've seen 50-year-olds though.
A top CEO who wouldn't, on regular day attend, these kind of parties. They want that kind of ambience.
Yeah, they want to have a seat.
They want to have that environment.
I can't lie,
so it's a demand thing. And like DJ Mensa said, they have kept their table for 20 to 30,000 and people are not complaining. It's always sold out. So it means that even if they hike it a bit, they'll still buy. So yes, it's a choice.
Again, it doesn't take away the regular tickets, the VIP. It depends on where you want to sit. You understand? It doesn't take the fact that you go to parties and you want to dance all night. You understand? So when people say that the table culture is taking away something, I really don't get it. You understand? Because again, that's why we have different tickets. Segments to
I know a friend who can afford a VVIP table. He will never. No, I want the ordinary.
Yes, I do
because
too. Like,
he's crazy and
me, I just want to join my people and jam.
And then trust me, I have seen people spend more than those who have even bought table by just standing by the bar.
Yeah.
So,
True.
you know, it's your vibe now. Again, I said growth because are people really coming out and dancing like the way we used to back in Aphrodisiac 20 years where you have a big dance floor? When was the last time you saw a club with a
We
with a
used
dance
to
floor?
actually dance.
We used
Gen
to,
Zs, they
that's
have their
what you go
phones
out to do.
You know, just always trying to record something instead of actually dancing.
That's where the growth comes in. It's changing, so you have to go with the time and
So
then
you
give
have a
them
problem
what
with people saying that, oh, every year is the same performance, the same artists, same shows, same music.
That's what they keep saying. Again, you know, people will say,
Nothing
oh, when you
new.
come to Rapaholic, you guys are always performing, but you are looking at all this international. Busta Rhymes came and the same
He went
performance
all
he
the way
did
back.
15 years ago is the same that he put up. He will add up a little bit on the screen, fireworks and all that, but the music won't change. You can do remixes and everything, but it's the same song that we dance to. Sometimes when you touch it too much, people don't even like it.
Right.
They like the original. Yeah,
We grew up on that, so
you know.
And I think it's also not fair to say because 10 years back in the day, if you're taking it back to 10 years ago, someone who was 10 is now 20.
Yes.
So they're experiencing it for the first time. And the 30 or 40-year-old is 50 and probably would not even show up. So if it's just, you know, you're tired of it, you can just rest and allow the people coming up to also
Again, even different
If you've
experiences.
done like a show 5 years back to back and you're resting, you don't want to go again, it's fine. But there's somebody
Yeah.
also who has grown
Yeah.
into it. You
And
are
this is
probably
their
a
first
parent
time.
now and cannot. You have responsibilities.
So
and you're not
again, if
interested.
you look at the numbers that came in this year, you can actually tell that it's fresh, young crowd than the mature
My
crowd
son
that
was
we're
out for the
used
first
to.
time. He's
Yes.
14.
So
So,
now,
yeah, this is
now
new
you're
to
going to
him.
change
Yeah.
some of the locations that you go to. Are you comfortable when you go to Bloom? Are you comfortable when you come to Soho? And that's why some of us have created a place like Soho for matured ravers, where you can still come when you're 45, 50 and listen to the old school like it used to back then. You
That's
go to Zen
important.
Gardens, it's a different experience. So different locations, different experiences. You just have to choose.